Today's session is Fiery Command WorkStation, New Features in Fiery Make-Ready Solutions. It is my pleasure to introduce our speakers for today, Ling Wang, Senior Product Line Manager, and Veronica Carlson, Senior Product Marketing Manager. And with that, we'll get started. Veronica, it's all yours.
Thank you, Yael. Good day, everyone. We created this session so you can get familiar with the great new features of our Make-Ready solutions that come with the latest version of Command WorkStation, version 6. And we plan to do this with very practical demonstration of common scenarios of day-to-day operations. We will first get a quick overview of Fiery Make-Ready solutions so you can have a good idea on how Impose, Compose, and JobMaster fit in a print environment and in the Fiery Workflow Suite. Once we do this, Ling will continue with the core content of this webinar with the 5 efficient Make-Ready scenarios where you will see how new features can dramatically streamline and shorten your daily Make-Ready tasks. After that, I will show you access to our product resources and free online learning. And at the end, we'll open the session for questions. Let's start with our picture of the Fiery Workflow Suite. In the Fiery Workflow Suite, you can find solutions that integrate your print process from submission to output. The Make-Ready solutions are the third segment of this print process and includes Fiery Impose, Compose, and JobMaster. These products are part of an in-rip Make-Ready solution that naturally integrates with the rest of the solutions in the Fiery Workflow Suite. And this is where our webinar will be focusing on. Fiery Make-Ready solutions are the best choice for professional print production environments. They adapt to print environments that want to centralize Make-Ready to one key operator or decentralize Make-Ready tasks to multiple prepress users, since it can be installed either on the Fiery server, as you can see in the picture there, or any Mac or Windows client on the network. Another unique fact is that all Make-Ready tasks are available from the same user interface, meaning that imposition, scanning, page numbering, PDF editing, media assignment, tab insertion, finishing settings, and more can be set without leaving Command WorkStation. And it offers a fully visual experience showing instant changes of the current job as users modify the job. Any of the Make-Ready solutions come with Acrobat DC Pro and PitStop Edit for last-minute changes without requiring to go back to the designer, giving more power to the operator. And the best of all, it doesn't require any additional hardware investment since, as I said before, it works with any existing client you have on the network. And almost any job produced in a production print site can benefit from Fiery Make-Ready solutions. And the new features in version 6 of Command WorkStation can help you produce them in less time, with fewer clicks, and in a more profitable way. So the jobs that require imposition are products such as business cards, personalized postcards, calendars, brochures, and the products that require more of the assembly part of the preparation are more of the longer jobs like manuals, books, course packs, reports, catalogs. And also the assembly can happen when creating NCR forms, for example, or unique ticketing for event or raffle tickets. So through linked demonstrations, we will show you how to apply Make-Ready effectively to most of these products. So Fiery Make-Ready solutions come with Command WorkStation, as you know. So when you download it and install Command WorkStation, JobMaster, Impose, and Compose will be already loaded, and you just need to activate the license to start using them. We just released version 6, and with the latest versions, you get the latest functionality of Make-Ready solutions. And if you haven't tried it, you can download today from efi.com/cws. And this is great news for everyone. If you don't have Impose or JobMaster license yet, you can try the latest version of them for free for 30 days. Just by going to those web pages we list there, you can request a free trial, and we'll send you a license for 30 days. Okay, so let's get to the demonstrations you are all waiting for. These are the 5 efficient make-ready scenarios Link is going to cover. Each of these are very common scenarios of your day-to-day operations. And this next slide shows you all the new features in version 6 at a glance. I'm not going to list them one by one, because Link is going to navigate you through them in the 5 scenarios. So this slide is just for your reference. And as you can see, some new features apply to all 3 make-ready solutions, while others are specific to Impose or to JobMaster. So I'm now going to turn it over to Link so demonstrations can start.
All right, thank you, Vero. Hello, everyone. So let's see how we can reduce your prep time down to seconds. So first scenario is imposition automation. So if you have been using Fiery Impose, I'm sure you have already hot folders or presets or virtual printers already set up in your system. So what's new inside Fiery Command WorkStation 6 is the ability to really automate the imposition and also reduce the amount of setup. So what do I mean by that? So I'm going to have a little illustration here. So what you need to do is have one Fiery workflow set up, say a hot folder. And we're going to create a template for 12 by 18 media, leveraging the brand new finish size called Based on Trim Box. And you're going to create a layout with that finish size, and then use that template for a hot folder. And what that hot folder does is it can take in different kind of jobs, different really trim box sizes for each job, and intelligently do the layout calculation on the fly and output the layout on that media. Say in our case is 12 by 18. So let me show you how that can be done in the application. So I have a file. So actually, by the way, I'm using Fiery Command WorkStation 6. And if you haven't seen it, our navigation now flows from left to right. And I've set up a filter here, so it shows me only the jobs I want to see rather than a long list. So I don't want to confuse you. So I have a job here. This is just a business card job. I'm going to click on Impose to open this file. And as you see, because our Fiery Impose, Compose, and JobMaster applications are in-RIP solutions, really all these applications are at your fingertip when you're in Fiery Command WorkStation. So here, before I get into the layout, I want to point out in version 6, we put in an enhancement so that the window sizing, right, the pane for page view, sheet view, and settings, and including the job summary, they can be all customized. And I'm sure you do this as well as everybody else. We always come in and try to resize the window so that it's comfortable to work in. And what the application does now is it will remember your setting the next time you come in, so you no longer need to play with the sizing every single time. Okay, so let's get into the layout. And so this is a gang up, right? We're gonna have it as a repeat because it's a business card. And let's look at the sheet size. So another thing I want to point out is, see, it's telling me that I have used these 2 sizes already. So the application now remembers your last used sizes, up to 5 sheet sizes. So I know that you have all had this headache of searching through this long list. So now the application remembers them, your most often used sheet sizes for you. And okay, I'm going to pick one. And I'm going to turn on the duplex. And also, we will come to marks. And this is another area we put in enhancement to improve the usability. So before version 6, you need to go in and define all the settings for marks. And with 6, now you can save all your settings as a preset. So here I'm going to choose my business card mark preset, and let's come back to finish size that we talked about, right? In addition to based on crossbox and user defined, you have a third choice based on trim box. And what this does, it has the best fit layout built in to this finish size. So when I choose this finish size, it will take the trim box size, right, and all the other parameters, your sheet size, your marks, your gutters, bleed, whatever you have, and into the intelligent calculation. So for example, if I shift to 12 by 18, then the sizing, the layout is recalculated. All right, so the next step I want to do is save this, but I actually already saved it. So I already saved the template. I saved two actually, 12 by 18 gang up repeat and 12 by 19 gang up repeat. So this is the template, so we're going to use this one for the hot folder setup. So I'm going to close it. So when I close it, you probably notice our save dialog is also streamlined. So in addition to being more streamlined, it also now saves your last used settings. So if I have saved this, say, to my desktop, it will remember the settings that I used last time. So if you have a preference, we want to remember for you. So we're not going to save this. I'm going to come back to the Command WorkStation. And before I do this, so because I already have a hot folder set up, so I'm just going to use my hot folder. This is the 12 by 18 gang up repeat. And I'm going to select 4 different jobs. All these jobs are designed with different finish sizes. So we're going to drag them in and let that process. So while this is happening, I will walk you through how this hot folder is set up. So this is the hot folder console. And under this server, I have a hot folder. And certainly at a glance, you can see what the setups are. The output paper size is 12 by 18, and then the impose template is 12 by 18 gang up repeat. So in case you have not done a hot folder setup, I just want to walk you through what are all the settings you need. Certainly give it a name, give it a location, and select the server you want the hot folder to be pointing to. And job action, select what you need. I like process and hold, so I can show you the ripped files. And then when you go into job property, this is where you can select the fiery impose template that we already set up. So going into the job properties, and as you see, job property now layout is also left to right. So we're going to go to layout and go into impose, right? And this is really just a drop down. So what we did is select the 12 by 18 gang up repeat. All right, so we're gonna exit out of this because everything is set up. I don't need to change it. And we can come in here. Oh, perfect. So all 4 jobs are already ripped. And on the right-hand side, under job preview, right, you can see the process job, how the layout looks like. And is kind of at a glance, we can see because of the trim box sizes are different between these 4 jobs, then the layout is also different. But keep in mind, right, we only set up one workflow to process all 4 jobs. So what does that mean in terms of the benefit for you? So I have an illustration here. So using 5.8 or earlier version, so when you have, say, in this case, 5 different job sizes, right? And then if you, in your shop, you usually use 3 different media sizes. So just in case, one stock runs out, you can switch to another one. So when it comes to workflow setup, say hot folder, it's really 5 times 3, and that's 15 templates or 15, say, hot folders or 15 presets. So what it means in 6 is you still got 5 jobs, you still got 3 media, But what it is we've narrowed that down to really 3 different templates, 1 template per media sizes. So think about, realistically, in your print shop, I'm sure you got more than just 5 different printer sizes. You can have, different business cards and different postcards or tickets. There are always new jobs coming in. So this is really just an illustration. To show you can significantly reduce the amount of workflows and setup, potentially from tens to 100 to just 1 per media size and gang up style, and that effectively will cut down the job preparation from 10 minutes to say 10 seconds. So definitely significant amount of saving. Give it a try when you have a chance. All right, the next scenario I have here is the auto page rotation. I think this can happen usually in our quick print or even in the CRD environment, right? The jobs are coming in from an author or multiple authors, and then sometimes the pages are just not, they're designed to show correctly on your computer, but when you print, you sometimes have to manually conduct certain rotations and make sure they look right in the printout. So let's see how we can do that. So I have a file, I think it's right here, it's 88 pages. I'm going to go into Impose, and I'm going to use the job summary. So job summary, I have to point out, job summary is actually available for Fiery JobMaster, but I think it's a great little tool for long document assembly because it categorize, I cannot say this word, putting all your pages in a catalog by job properties. So for example, page size wise, I can see I have 3 oversized pages, and I can either select them or I can also filter them. So I can see them and preview and find them very quickly. And I'm going to make this a little larger so you can see all the pages in action. And what we will do here is going to a booklet. So I want to make them as a booklet. And let's find I think I'm in the JobMaster mode. Right, in this case, I have pages that need to be rotated. Coming here, and when I switch to user defined, you can see that the auto rotation options now are available, and I can decide if I want to rotate clockwise or counterclockwise. So in this case, I'll just choose clockwise. And another element you can use is to scale it, so everything then fits into the sheet size you have selected. And this is certainly something you can save in a template. So if you got jobs that frequently need rotation for a booklet setup, and you can apply this to a hot folder or preset, and everything will work fine. And one thing I think I want to point out here, so for example here in this case, if the rotation is not really what you have in mind, you can certainly make additional adjustment using Fiery JobMaster. So what I will do is select this page and go into Edit Page, and there is a rotation option available. So really if this is the rotation I want, I can just say OK, and then that rotation will be applied. But this is not going to be a part of your template if you're doing individual page manual rotation. Okay? All right, so we're going to close this and exit out of the demonstration. So I think the benefit-wise is really, it helps you eliminate manual touches, right, to make corrections when it comes to orientation. And this is very helpful in long documents. So we were dealing with, 88 pages in there. You can have, more than that. And it's really a lot of, eyeballing and a lot of clicks to just make sure every pages are adjusted correctly. So take advantage of the auto rotation so that you can make sure that all your pages are printed with the orientation through an automated setup. Okay, so the next scenario is VDP booklets with hard covers. If you have been using Fiery Impose, you're probably aware that you can set up automation to produce VDP products, like booklet here. What is new in Fiery Command WorkStation 6 is the ability to define a different media for the cover. So a different media for the cover and then a different media for the body. So, and this is a capability that's going to be available for external Fiery servers running Fiery FS 150 Pro software and above. So let's see how that is done. I have a preset, so I'm going to go into, I'm going to collapse the server, going to Device Center to look at the preset. So by the way, there are two ways in Fiery Command WorkStation 6 to access Device Center. You can click on those little three dots to access Device Center, or you can go to Server and access Device Center. Either way, same thing. So when I open this, I can, so by default I'm in the general information, and you can see we're connecting to a FS200 Pro system. So this is the Fiery system software that usually you want to figure out if you are eligible to upgrade to Fiery Command WorkStation 6. And so coming back here under Workflows, we're going into Job Preset. And as you see here, we got a preset set up called the VDP Booklet 219 GSM cover. And let's go into Edit so I can show you what this looks like. So this is pretty straightforward. You are defining a name and then using job property to set up the imposition template. And go under Layout, Impose. I have the template already set up, but I will walk you through what this looks like. So we set the template up as a booklet saddle, and we're using the crock box because this is a variable data job we want to process. So we will use the based on crock box finish size. Sheet size is 11 by 17. So when you come to cover, so you're probably familiar with the content here, right? The cover content and also where you want the cover to be, front and the back. Section 6 is the ability to select a media from your paper catalog. So this is the cover media we have selected. And let's exit out here, and then we can look at where the body media, right? Under media, paper catalog, this is the body media. So this is a lighter weight media. All right, so I have a preset set up, and I think I did not here. So this is the file. So I already processed this long PPML job, so I'm not going to bore you with the whole processing stream, but you can see the workflow here is the VDP Booklet 219 GSM cover, the preset we just reviewed. And then under Job Summary, you can see there are 48 records, and also you got 2 medias defined. So everything looks good. Right? So coming back to our scenario, I think the benefits is really this new capability help you produce high-value VDP applications. And we're definitely adding this to the whole automation process and making VDP a really easy setup. And this definitely includes the variable length booklets as well, not just the fixed length. So you can have a set of booklets. One record may have 10 pages, the other record may have 12 pages. So it all can be handled very well by Fiery Impose and the automation workflows. All right, scenario number 4, preparing a binder job. I think this is a job that's really common for our CRD or implant operators, right? Usually, say, different departments, they're going to generate their, design their different sections to a whole binder job. And they come in as pieces, and it's up to the operator to pull everything together at the last minute and make sure everything is done correctly, including assigning color media, maybe incorporating additional scan documents, and also making sure everything looks fit and polished, including like if you are applying holes, punch holes to this job, the pages are offset so the content is not clipped off. All right, so let's see how that can be set up. So I have a cover page here. I am going to open it in JobMaster. So the next thing is, say all my sections are ready, then I will bring those in as different sections. I have a few sections that I'm going to bring in. And so with a single drag and drop, I have all my pages. And what you notice here is I have a chapter start inserted. So this is a preference now that you can set up in Fiery JobMaster. So let's get to the new preference manager here. So in the past, we have preferences set up in Command WorkStation. So with Command WorkStation 6, we moved the preference managers or preference choices within the Impose and JobMaster and Compose, so that it's a lot easier to manage. So for example, under JobMaster, you have an option, at chapter start when dragging files into page view. And you can certainly turn it off if you don't need it. But I feel chapter start is actually quite useful. You can use the chapter start for setting up finishing, per section, or use it for auto tab, right? I can convert those chapter starts to tabs or insert before them. And in this scenario, I want to turn those into color inserts. Again, I'm going to use my, so instead of kind of go through the long document and find those chapter starts, I'm going to use my job summary and just select the 6 chapter starts. And then right-click and find my assigned media. We can find it. Okay. There we go. So I just want to show you the ability to assign a color media, and then the color actually now is shown through on the sheet view. I think this is a great deal for some of our operators, because then this is a great way to visually confirm that you have done the assignment correctly, and it's a visual kind of separation when you kind of scroll through the document to ensure you're looking at the right places. Okay, so the next part of the demonstration is the scan document incorporation. So you know that using Fiery JobMaster, you can already scan directly from any scanner. And in Command WorkStation 6, we also added ability to insert image files. So scan documents can be saved as either image files or PDF. So you have both choices. So in this case, I have PDF, file saved as a PDF. So I'm going to go into my catalog. I believe I have a scan document here. And what JobMaster will do is it will go through the pages you're importing and see if they're scanned images. And in this case, it says, yes, do you want to edit the scan content? So again, these preferences are in that preference manager with this sol. So in this case, I say yes. And here in this preview and edit, I can apply deskuing, despeckling, or any rotation. And we added a fine rotation in Command WorkStation 6 to allow you to do even more kind of adjustments, if needed. All right, so we're gonna say done. Now the files are really just one page, are ready to be brought over. So I love drag and drop, right? You can do this very easily, but also, when it comes to long documents, and I think in this case we have 78 pages, it's really tough to drag this to a particular location. So we've added a controls to help you land this page in the exact location you want. In this case, I just want it to be at the end of the job. So I click Insert, and then now it's 79 pages. All right, and the last, I think we can certainly turn on this as a duplex. So what I want to do then is to offset this page. So I'm going to go into Edit Page, right, and move this page over. So with the new control, I can very easily shift this page. If I have selected multiple pages or maybe just entire documents, I can use the mirror function so my odd and even pages are shifted the opposite side, and then the holes will not clip off any content. But I think in this case, the document, the body of the document actually designed fine. It's just the cover that I need the adjustment for. Okay, so this concludes this demonstration. I'm going to close this so we don't look at it again. So when it comes to benefits, I think having Fiery JobMaster really makes job preparation easy for complex jobs, long documents with a lot of finishing requirements or content manipulation that's required. And I think it definitely then results in cost savings, right? You're not spending as much time on one document. You can spread your effort on more kind of value add activities. And this gives the power to our operators to produce really polished print products. And sometimes, some of these, for example, the content shift, right? If you don't have an easy tool, you may have to go back to the designer. But in this case, everything is there. You can do it at the last minute with the tool at your fingertips. All right, let's go into the last scenario, tickets and raffles. So if you have been using Fiery JobMaster, I'm sure you have seen a demo or how-to on a similar setup, which is producing raffle tickets. What is new for Command WorkStation 6 is the ability to insert images as stamps in addition to inserting text or numbers. So in this scenario, we will duplicate this one design into 1,000 tickets. We'll put in the base stamping for every ticket, and then also add a barcode. Then we add a logo as well. And finally, using Impose to finish up the job as a finished printout. Okay, so let's get into the job. I have the ticket right here. I'm going to go into JobMaster. And we have, very quickly, go into Edit. You can duplicate this job for, say, 1,000, right? Very easily done. I'm going to use the job summary to help me select just the odd pages, because these are the pages I want to put actually numbering stamping on. So going to Edit Numbering and Stamps. Let me make this a little larger so you can see. So when I click the plus sign, right, I'm adding a wrench. It's pre-selected, so it's already entered for me. I can certainly modify the range to customize it further if I want. And this is very handy for NCR type of jobs. Okay, so I will put in my number. This is where I want it to be. I'm going to put in a series of numbers. And with the numbering options, I can say count only the specified pages. So then it becomes sequential. It's not going to count the odd pages and even pages, right? Only odd pages we want to count it. And we want to use the custom numbering to just kind of customize it further. We're starting at a certain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the beginning digits. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Ooh, this is a little bit too big. Let me change it. Okay, so the next step is I want to duplicate this. And the reason for that is I want to use the barcode font to turn this into a barcode. Here we go. And I just need to move it down. So as you can see, really you can add as many stamps you want and wherever you want. It's not really restricted to a particular area. So really the possibilities are endless. Oh, did I change this? Sorry. Okay, I'm going to add a stamp so I can turn this into an image stamp. Let's see, where do I have my stamp? Try this one. Very good. So this is certainly too large, so I'm going to just kind of tweak it by narrowing it down and use my auto sizing or fitting, and everything is done. So there, you can see there are a lot of controls. I'm not going to step them kind of through. These are pretty standard controls you may find in InDesign, so they're really easy to use. We added the size and position to help you really identify exactly where you want the stamp to be. So for any precision placement, it can be handled right here. All right, so everything is done. I can preview, you know, for all the pages. You can see that everything is done sequentially, all looking good. So before I finish, I need to really impose this, right? Because this is, after all, something you want to print out. And we're going to use the unique Coley cut, so everything is in a stack. By leveraging our brand new finish size, I'm going to place this on 13 by 19 size, and once I turn on duplex, everything is good. I can even put in the marks if I like. Postcards, right? So once I put in the mark, layout is recalculated, everything is good to go. All right, so just to recap, so I think the benefits here is having everything, right? Impose, compose, or JobMaster functionalities all in one interface really provides you a very efficient way to conduct pre-press work. And this covers imposition layout, page content edits, as well as document assembly. I think one thing I did not include in my demonstration is the ability to access Adobe Acrobat and the also PitStop edit within Fiery Impose, Compose, or JobMaster. So those are industry standard applications. We want to make sure those are also available at your disposal, so they are included in these in our application kits. So I think with all these power, you gain so much control on the late stage edits without having to go back to designers, and therefore you can produce very high value jobs very quickly. So again, I think these are the kind of three areas I think of when I work with Fiery makeready. Is the flexibility, right? It's great for upstream design and late stage edit. It's ease of use. You know, we designed this this application set with you in mind, and we want to make sure that the user interface is easy to use and it can help you efficiently conduct your day-to-day job. and it's great for using Imposition and also document assembly all in one interface, and with the nice really kind of high usability design into the application, it's really easy for you to move from Imposition to document assembly or vice versa, and it was very short learning curve. And last point is the easy deployment. As you saw, our applications are integrated with Fiery Command WorkStation and the rest of the Fiery Workflow Suite products. So you get a lot of power built in beyond just these three applications. You can take advantage of all the workflow automation offered by Fiery Workflow Suite. Okay, so I'm going to hand it off to Veronica to cover additional resources available for you.
Thank you, Lynn. That was great. So if you are interested in trying Impose for free and need some more help to define if investing in Impose makes good business sense to you, we provide a tool that can calculate the time savings and the payback time you can experience with the efficient imposition workflow offered by Impose. So you can access to this link and you can get the ebooks for efficient imposition with Impose, and also we have an ebook for pre-press automation with JobFlow. So you go there, you download the ebook, enter your own numbers and see the ROI results quick and easy. We also want to mention that MakeReady Solutions keep up with the latest software versions of Adobe Acrobat and PitStop. The new Impose, Compose, and JobMaster kits started shipping with the latest versions, Acrobat DC Pro and version 13 for PitStop Edit. And it is important to know that if you already own these products, you can buy the upgrade kit from your Fire reseller, and it is also available directly from EFI at the EFI e-store. And this slide gathers all the resources you can access to enrich your knowledge and get training on the new features. When you first resource is Command WorkStation webpage where you can download the software. You have also more information on new features, play short videos that demonstrate the new features. You can also download a document, which is the What's New guide, with more information on version 6. We provide here the link to the online help, which is also available within Command WorkStation itself. You can also join the Fiery community at the Fiery forums, where you can post questions and get answers from expert users of Fiery. And then you can visit the Learning at EFI, our new 24/7 online learning platform that has new training resources for Impose, Compose, and JobMaster products. And in this slide, we provide you the link so you can go straight to the product training pages. And then we list the free trials we have available. So not only we have trials for Impose and JobMaster, we also have free trials for JobFlow and Graphic Arts Package Premium Edition. And as Yael told you, this is the last session of the series of webinars covering Command WorkStation 6 new features. And if you haven't joined the previous sessions, you can access to the recordings available in these links. And we will be emailing you today's recording so you can share the recording or revisit later at your own pace. Now we invite you to the Q&A section, and as you submit your questions, Yael is going to wrap up the presentation with a few important announcements.
Thank you. So great job, Ling and Veronica. Audience, please, this is the perfect time to submit your questions. They'll start looking through. If you are going to Print 17 in just a few weeks, we'd love for you to stop by and see us. We'll be demonstrating Command WorkStation, color management, and our pre-press solutions. So great opportunity to meet some of our experts and see our solutions firsthand. EFI Connect, our global user conference, is coming up in January in Las Vegas. We encourage everyone to attend. It's a great way to learn from your peers and another excellent opportunity to talk to EFI product and subject matter experts. And in addition to Fiery training, we obviously showcase other EFI products. in areas such as super wide and wide format inkjet printing and productivity software, including MIS and web-to-print systems. So you can find additional information at efi.com/connect and already register if you're ready to do so. Finally, I'd like to mention our web-to-print solution, Digital Storefront, which is fully integrated with Fiery servers. Through our 3 sessions in the last couple weeks, we have demonstrated how you can manage jobs within Command WorkStation and use our Fiery Make-Ready solutions. With Digital Storefront, when your customers order online, the job attributes are automatically translated into print job settings and mapped to media libraries, layout settings, and inline finishing capabilities of your Fiery-driven presses. So you can process job faster and with fewer touches. You can, of course, learn a lot more by going to efi.com/DSF. So we are now ready for our Q&A. I believe we have quite a number of questions. We'll start with the first one. Ling and Veronica.
Okay, so I think there was a question of can I use my own version of Acrobat DC? So so here's the thing. So we only support the version of Acrobat and PitStop that we certified. The reality is Adobe Acrobat, Adobe does issue multiple versions, say even for DC, so there's no way for us to certify all of those versions. So it may work, it may not work, we cannot guarantee it. The only thing we can ensure is that we can we will support the certified version, the version that we are shipping with right now, the Acrobat DC and then Focus PitStop 13 Update 2. And this applies for older version of the software. Okay, so there's a question on what workflows are supported for the 2 finish sizes we talked about, the based on trim box and user-defined. So this is actually a question. I have a backup slide here I'm going to show you. So before I kind of jump into the slides, I want to kind of frame why this is the case. So in the past, right, every time we develop a new Fiery Impose capability, especially for automation purpose, you kind of have to get a new Fiery to take advantage of those new capabilities. But in the past couple of releases, we moved away from that model because we understand our customers really need those capabilities, and they, the release cycle is usually 3 to 5 years. It just doesn't make sense. So what we like to do is to make sure you can use the new capabilities just by updating to the latest Command WorkStation. So, and this is, so we have done this for some of the new capabilities we developed in the past 2-3 releases for user-defined and also based on trim box finish sizes. And there are requirements in terms of how this can work. So first, Fiery Impose license is required when you create a template, right? Wherever you create it, on a client or on a server, you need that Fiery Impose license. And certainly you want the latest version of Fiery Command WorkStation installed as well. And in terms of the workflow, so this is where we are looking at the table, right? If you're using the templates through kind of a client-based workflows like hot folders or job flow, you can use it fine. You just need the license on the client, and then you can use all the new capabilities for these finish sizes. However, if you're using the workflow that's more running on the server, in this case job properties, server presets, and virtual printers, right? We are supporting these on the FS200 Pro and newer. So, and in addition to that, make sure you have the license installed on the server. So if you say, I created the template on the client, but now I want to render it using a server preset, make sure the server has one, Command WorkStation, latest version of Command WorkStation installed and running, and two, you have the Impose license also installed on the server. So it does, this is sort of a new requirement that I just want to clarify. So certainly I think it's great that you can utilize these new finish size templates, but make sure you meet the requirements for running these workflows. So hopefully that explains it. I know this is kind of a, not an easy concept in terms of the requirements. So this is all included in the What's New guide. So when you go into Command WorkStation 6 webpage, there is a link on that page to the What's New guide, and there's a whole section covering this requirement. So one question says, just to clarify, JobMaster and Impose from 5 will work seamless on 6. So yeah, so basically when you install 6, actually there was a separate question. Can you run 5 and 6 on the same client? No, you can't. So if you're doing the upgrade, our installer will actually uninstall 5 and install 6 for you. And if you already have Impose license or JobMaster Compose license, any of those software licenses already activated, the upgrade process will take care of the licensing. You don't need to do anything. They should be all activated after you upgrade to 6. So then you can start using the new functionalities that came with Command WorkStation 6.
There's a question about if the free trials include Acrobat and Focus PitStop. The answer is no. If you have a copy of Acrobat and PitStop that is certified with Impose, Compose, and JobMaster, you can use those. But the 30-day free trial will not include those licenses, because there's no 30-day trial for those products. So it's only the imposition capability and document preparation capability for JobMaster and Impose.
So there's a question that in Command WorkStation 6 Impose, is there the ability to adjust the left and right gutter to offset or just the inner gutters? So that's something available already. So if we look at this one, right? So we have the gutter. Maybe we need to have a different file. So let me start out with what do we have? So if you have a business card, I'm going to go in here. The reason that we did not see the gutter adjustment is because we relied on the based on trim box, and it kind of fixed all the sizes. So what you can do is go into say user defined. We can switch to this if I want. I'm gonna do this, and I can switch to a user defined, and then this is where you define the gutters. So you can certainly put in a different measurement if you like, and I can say apply all. So then, oops, did I? So then everything is uniform way, or you can put in different sizes if you like, right? So all this is possible. I think one thing I want to mention is, I understand our audience in Europe or outside really North America, you don't really use these the sheet sizes I've been demonstrating with, but we do support the metrics sheet sizes as well based on your locale. So there's another question that says, on the license, can you use the licenses on both server and client, or do you need two license numbers? So it really depends. You can certainly move your license, right? If I have a license on the client, and that's where I want to create the template, then use the license there. And once you're done, you can move the license to the server if you decide to use the more of a server-based workflows, like a server presets. Then yeah, you can move the licenses around. It's actually quite straightforward. So I can quickly show you where it is. In the Impose, you can say Manage License, right? And the browser will open, and this is the because it talks to the license manager, licensing server. So in this case, I have permanent license activated. If you want to activate an additional license, it's pretty straightforward. You just put in the license key, and you can deactivate a license as well, and then just use the license code for your server. Okay. Let's see. What other questions do we have?
So as you guys are looking for the next question, I want to reiterate the Fiery forums. Really a great place to go to ask your questions, to see what your peers are doing and how they're dealing with questions and issues that they come across. And in addition, our experts such as Ling, and if you joined any of our other sessions, Lou and Greta, they are very active there, and they will be there to help through those. So I really encourage everybody to go to Fiery Forums and leverage all the collective knowledge and experience of your peers and the EFI experts who are there.
So I think that, I don't know if this is the final question. So there is a question on so if I'm interested in upgrading to the Acrobat DC and PitStop 13, you listed for $199. So will it work for my Fiery? So we have I think we certainly have a table, but really what it does is take a look at the official supported OS by Adobe and InFocus. That determines the OS requirements, right? And then in terms of the compatibility for Command WorkStation and Fiery, so here's the compatibility. So if you have already upgraded to Fiery Command WorkStation 6, that certainly requires you to have System 10 and above, right? If you are staying with Fiery Command WorkStation 5.8, then you can, access with the System 9R2 system software. So what is not supported then, what that means is, sorry I don't have this written up, but we will type it into a Q&A. So what is not supported is, based on Adobe and then Focus support, Windows XP is not supported, Windows Server 2008, Windows Server 2003, Mac OS 10.8 and below, and then when it comes to Fiery system software, System 9 and below are not supported for this upgrade option.
All right, so we're at the top of the hour. We have some additional questions that we'll get back to directly, and we'll include in the FAQ as promised at the top of the hour. For anybody wondering, we did record today, and we'll send out a link to the recording within a few days. And you'll get an email with that link, as well as links to all the resources that Veronica and Ling mentioned. So you'll have a bunch of resources and all the how-tos, and hopefully everybody will go to Learning at EFI to take a look at some of the express videos, how-to guides, e-learning courses that we have available for you there on these wonderful make-ready solutions that we've talked about today. So with that, I want to thank our audience for joining us. For those of you who joined today, you'll be able to go back and listen and view the previous sessions. For those of you who joined us for the 3, thank you very much. Hope you had a chance to learn a lot from our experts. And to Ling and Veronica, thank you for your time and all the wonderful information we shared with our audience today. We look forward to seeing you in future World of Fiery webinars. Take care. Have a great day.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.